I played Super Bowlers for the last 2 weeks in Legends League and I'm averaging about 280 trophies over the last 7 days. I will show you the most important things I learned over the period, so let's not waste any time. We will start what you can expect from this guide. Cover the basic rules, the funnel options you have, the hero logic you can use, how to take a basis with the Invisibility spell tower, and finish with some of my legendary plays and explain to you why I did what on which type of base. First things first, Super Bowlers are not easy to play. If you're looking for a guide that takes you by the hand and covers a very blunt strategy with one single entry for like every single base out there, this guide is not for you. Yes, I will give you a basic rule set, but the focus of this guide is to show you the different entry options you have. And in the end, you need to decide what fits your playstyle. The most important thing for Super Bowlers is the funnel. You want to make sure that you know where your Super Bowlers will walk in the base and which compartments they will take out. Always abuse the Flame Flinger. And you have enough total spells in the armor composition to tank expos, but make sure there that you're always placing the totems only in the range of the expo and no other defense. Then you have the Yeti in the army to take down or tank mortars for your Flame Flinger. And sometimes, if you really want to be sneaky, you can even use an Ice Golem with 1 or 2 Headhunters to take down enemy heroes on the outside, sometimes even with an Invisibility spell to set up your Flame Flinger further. Make sure you give your Super Bowlers a very clean entry. Early compartments, like more onto the outside, are very ideal to like create the path for your Super Bowlers and make sure that they are going in the right direction. If you're attacking like raid setup bases, make sure you find a clean entry where you get as quickly as possible into the whole raid setup, because that's where the Super Bowlers shine with those bounces. Most of the time you want to one walk like roughly 60 seconds before starting your smash. If you do it longer, it is still possible and can still work, but you will be close on time in the end. When we look at the space now, I want to explain to you the basic method that most of the people should use in the beginning and is the most beginner friendly as well. So you place a wand in one corner, doesn't matter which it is at the beginning, and you want to take down some buildings. You can then, not directly on top of the wand, but place your Flame Flinger next to the wand, which now should target like those buildings here and take them down. You have to be careful, obviously, with mortars, take them down with like the Yeti, for example, or take down enemy heroes, or just ignore them for the first couple of buildings. And that would set up a great funnel, obviously, for the whole side. So no troop will go, if you move into the clan castle, go to the top because everything is taken down. After the Warlock and your Flame Flinger, you want to go always into a flank. You never really want to go like from a corner. You always want to go into the flank where you have a very direct path, which would be here the clan castle. To achieve that the Super Bowlers will walk inside, like the orange arrow with like the jump here over the walls. You need to funnel this corner as well. And there you have like many other options. You can use your Royal Champion alone, or you can use your king or your queen to help support the Royal Champion to set the funnel. Another option is to like play a one walk for like the corner again. And if you don't see like the Flame Flinger here is worth it, you don't have to play it there. You could play it as a funnel as well, so that you can delay your World Champion a bit more in the attack, so that he doesn't die as quickly. But yeah, this would be an option as well. There you have to probably use totem spells, at least one, to tank the expo. This will set up a great pathing as well. The advantage you have here is like you can delay your World Champion, but in the core, both Fire Spitters will shoot, obviously. If you're playing it right with the Flame Flinger behind and take down theoretically the World Champion and the Mortar, there's only one Fire Spitter on your Super Bowlers. In the end, you just have to use what is comfortable for you. What you see, like for example here, I would just probably play my Flame Flinger on the bottom because there's no hero. So as you can see, there are already different approaches on where you can place your Flame Flinger, where you place your heroes. You ever have to use what fits you. Personally, I will play my king most of the time on the outside to support my World Champion, especially For example, looking at this flank here, there's so much damage here. Where my world champion would die pretty instantly. That's just where I use my king to help him support and tank and deal damage. But I know other players who like to play the queen with the arrow to like set a quick funnel and to have like the giant is in front of the world champion as well to take down defenses and tank. That's just up to you. I just want to remind you, if there's not much in the core, like for example here only the town hall basically, you shouldn't play your king, your queen, and your super bowlers with your wall into the core. That's just a complete overkill. And every defense from the outside will shoot at your troops. You won't get very far with that. You have to like at least have one hero with your world champion on the outside, taking down a flank, and then it can pull through. And if you're wondering which equipment you should use on your world champion, so either the frost flag or the rocket spear, there is no right or wrong way with super bowlers. I feel like I play my world champion quite early, so most of the time the rocket spear is more efficient. But I played it a long time, like a couple of days with the Frostwag as well. Sometimes the Frostwag was even better than the rocket spear, but sometimes it was the opposite around. So use whatever you have maxed or want to use, and then you're good to go. There are two main ways to deal with it. The first way is probably the easiest. If you just use the giant arrow instead of the mirror, like in the army composition link, you need to switch that to like trigger the invis spell. You just place your queen where you shoot the arrow through the core and the invis spell is triggered. That's basically how you can do that quite easily. The second way to deal with invis spell towers is like what I do. It's a bit more advanced, but if you have the hang of it and the timing, it is quite strong because you have like more power with like the giant and the mirror on your queen. So what you want to do for that is place a skeleton spell into the core, close to a defense, turn the skeletons, the spawning invisible, but not the defense, and they will attack the defense for like 1 or 2 seconds, and if they live that long, they will trigger the invis spell. And this is a risky part. If you mess up the invisibility spell, it could look something like this, and the skeletons walk out of the invisibility and won't live long enough to trigger the invis spell. And then you have really a big problem because you swag basically 2 spell capacity and the invis is still there. I will show you now some of my attacks and I will do a voiceover of that. So I'm not hitting live, just so that you don't wonder. But basically this is a box base. This is like a very good style for you for super bowlers. And the fire spitters point in that direction that you like. If you can smash into the town hall, that's basically pretty free. Because you have like no fire spitters, which you have to consider. And I'm just starting my warden at the bottom. And yeah, what I notice is when I tank the X-bow and take it down, I can use my flame flinger to get like the scatter shot and the poison tower, which is like, for me, it would be enough. Because the flame flinger also helps a bit my warden. And this is like the most basic entry there is with super bowlers. Play a warden walk next to the warden walk, the flame flinger to tank like X-bows and whatever. And yeah, it's going good. I have to be a bit careful about the long shot there. I think I will wait here in a couple of seconds. Yeah. And I noticed that on the right side as well, like at 3 o'clock, I can just play my world champion there with like 1 or 2 skeletons and he should be quite alright because there's not that much damage at the beginning. And the reason why I'm having 3 wall breakers here is obviously to have the opportunity to play like such entries in Legends, because nobody is baiting a town hall entry with super bowlers when you have like 2 wall break at the dead zone twice. So that's why I always have 3 wall breakers with me, and if there's an outside spring trap, you will lose 1 wall breaker. By the way, here it was very unfortunate. I think it was the Giga Bomb, the long shot, and the scatter shot immediately at the same time. And I popped my warden ability. So I have to play that attack now without my warden, and I missed up my world champion behind the smash as well. I don't know why I popped her ability. I guess because I wanted to deploy her, and I already deployed her. And once the super ball is in the core and they get like the bounces on the storages, it's pretty much game over for the base. Especially on those box style bases where like they bounce everything over the storages. And yeah, as you can see, this is pretty smashed even without the Warden ability. And I can just use my couple of spells to get like my world champion to live on the back end, and then it's just a time problem, or like if the time is enough, it's a triple. Alright, next attack. Now it's a diamond shade base. What I normally do on this type of base, I walk one corner to set a funnel, play my flame flinger like towards the top, and smash around the channel there is, where the fire spitters and like most of the defenses are, with my super bowlers. And then I try to, depending on how many defenses are in the tower compartment, but if there are not many defenses in the tower compartment, I try to play my king into the tower compartment alone with like a jump. And you will see how I would do that there. And if there's an invisibility spell, I would just trigger it with like, yeah, skeleton spell and invis trick. And here I use my Yeti at the top to like protect my flame flinger, take out one mortar and tank the other one. That was pretty good there. And yeah, I would just wait for my warden to set a funnel. And when your bowlers are in like this channel, it's pretty much game over for the base if you play it right. And yeah, I tried to pull the clan castle. It was probably not the smartest idea, because I have to like invest at least 2 spells now. The freeze on the headhunters and then the poison. And it takes a lot of time. But I noticed on this base specifically, or like on this style, like there are a couple of versions out there, it is fine to have like a very long warden walk. And what I did there with my 2 warbreakers is to like open the wall there a bit so that my super bowlers and my warden will more likely go into the channel. Otherwise they could have gotten on the outside. And here I use my jump spell. Sometimes I use it even more a bit down towards the clan castle, but it wasn't necessary here. And as you can see, my king is straight jumping into the core. That's what I want. I would just use a totem there to save my king a bit, pop his ability. And the ability was a bit too early because the super bowlers like walked into the tower compartment. But this entry is so crushed on this base that it's basically doesn't matter. And what you probably should do when you play it yourself is to play the world champion on the top side. That worked for me a bit better in the last attacks I did on this base. But yeah, this is still pretty crushed. And I mean, as you can see, I still like roughly 30 seconds left, even with the Toy Tesla. Alright, next base. Now there's an Invis at the town hall, and you will see how I deal with that with like the Invis skeleton trick. And here I'm not playing my Flame Flinger behind my Warden, just because there is no value wheel for my Flame Flinger. I could do my Warden walk at 6 o'clock and play my Flame Flinger for like the multi-gear tower, but that's just not enough value for me. And I want to set my Flame Flinger on the other side of the Warden walk to like set a great funnel. And I mean, I have 3 totem spells, so there's not much to worry about for the Flame Flinger. I can just use, even if I have to use 2 totem spells, that's fine for me. And yeah, if the Warden takes down the 9 o'clock compartment, like the Fire Spitter as well, I can wall break straight onto the Town Hall twice, like on the Town Hall compartment, and then I can send my smash into the base, basically. And that's what I want to do here. My Flame Flinger is doing a great job in setting like a great funnel. I don't really care at the moment that much about the Guardian, because it's only the Guardian on my Warden and my healers cannot heal that. And now when I pull my Warden, I want to switch back the Guardian, obviously, from the Warden, so that my healers will switch. And yeah, I'm playing everything inside, because there's a big rage setup. I want my king, obviously, to like open the walls for everyone and deal so much damage when he's standing in the rage setup. And yeah, that's what I do here. It's like we don't have the clan castle, which is coming out when we are in the middle. I just pop my Warden ability and my king, and my super bowlers, look at them. They're just bouncing everywhere, the purple stones. And with the king ability, I open everything basically. And here I think I have my Frost Flake on my world champion. You will see that in a moment. But basically, this is crushed either with the Frostbake or the Rocket Spear on my World Champion. And yeah, if you play your World Champion so late, the Frostbake is probably better. But again, I prefer more the Rocket Spear, to be honest. And this is a diamond box base again, like box style base with an anti-2, the Towner in the middle. And what I noticed here is like there's no hero protecting like the Fire Spitter and the X-Bow. And if I wall walk one side of that and Flame Flinger the other one, even if I have to invest 2 of those totem spots, that would be fine. It would set a very good funnel because I noticed that the bounces for the Flame Flinger are very good there at the bottom. I tested that with the Barbarian, and yeah, I will take down the single Archer Tower to like push my Flame Flinger directly towards the Fire Spitter. Otherwise, he would have like driven a bit down towards the 6 o'clock side. And I'm just patiently waiting for like my Warden. This is like on those type of bases, you basically Warden walk very long, like at least 1 minute to like 1 minute 20. And yeah, like look at those. The splash damage from the Flame Flinger is not too bad, and I like that. And most of the time I will only use 1 rage for my Warden walk. Sometimes you have to use 2, but that's just the exception. And I will wait for the Ricochet Cannon to go down, and then I will just go into the Clan Castle and the Revenge Tower with my Super Bowlers. But the funnel is so great that I don't have to worry about my Super Bowlers like walking on the outside, because there's literally no defense at 6 o'clock and like towards the 8 o'clock side up. And yeah, I mean, because there's only the Towner, I'm just not sending my king into the core. I will play my Super Bowlers alone with my queen. I noticed when I play my king into the core on those type of bases and I pop him in the middle, everything splits because they can reach everything basically. And that's not what you want to do or have with like Super Bowlers, because you want to have the splash heal effect from the healers. They are more effective if like the troops are standing close on top of each other. So I don't do that anymore with like playing my king there in the core. And I just played my World Champion and my king together on like one flank to keep help my troops, and from the timing where like everything merges together at the end. If you want more guides like this, just let me know and subscribe to the channel to not miss any future video.